That is the sound of me breaking my brand new Galaxy Z Fold 8. And the worst part is, it was all my own fault. I should have known better. Before we get into that though, if you are indeed looking to buy a brand new Galaxy Z Fold 8, there's a discount code in the video description below.
A phone that looked cool, but one I'd eventually move on from. I couldn't have been more wrong. After using it for the last few days, I realized Samsung didn't just make a smaller foldable, they created a completely different experience. And surprisingly, I
know what you're thinking. Why would you start the video with a bland word like experience? But I need you guys to stick with me for a second. Because when you actually dig into what the word means in today's market, whether we're talking phones, movies, video games, cars, doesn't matter. Because when you actually dig
crap, earbuds, the Z Fold 8 Ultra, etc. There's no screen protector slapped on there, but you might want to chuck one on all the same because this thing ain't cheap. The last thing you want is a nasty big gouge in it. And then it's a bit of Victus 2 around back again so far.
Affordable phone to get. Let's put them head to head and find out. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 has turned some heads already, being affordable with a compact, passport-like form factor. While the Z Fold 8 Ultra,
the Fold 8 has an IP48 rating, which means you're absolutely fine for water, and I have actually tried to wash this thing to try and remove some of those particles, and it's been absolutely fine in the waterfront. But that 4 in that rating.
Someone coming from the Fold 7, when I first saw the Fold 8 in videos, I thought this form factor looked a bit weird. I was convinced the Ultra would be more comfortable because it looked more familiar. So naturally, I pre-ordered the Ultra. Then, I started seeing people go,
which is exactly why I can appreciate the Galaxy Z Fold 8 as much as I do. Because as someone who has used countless phones over the past few years, I appreciated that it goes back to the one-handed use that I and too many other smartphone enthusiasts love from back in the day.
As I mentioned before, pretty much ideal for one-handed use. And this works really well for browsing the web. And I've had zero jip from any of my apps as well. Had lots of people asking how the likes of Instagram feeds work on this thing. Absolutely fine. As you can see, you can scroll away.
You can definitely feel a difference when using these two displays. The Z Fold 8 can fit more text across the screen. The Ultra has more vertical space though, something that's apparent when you open up the keyboard, for example. Then when you unfold the phones, the inner displays are...
And there were scratches. To this day, I genuinely don't know how I did it. Nothing dramatic happened. I didn't fall. I didn't smash it with anything. It has been in and out of my pocket, possibly, maybe, with a pair of earbuds.
Fold 8 gives you almost the same foldable experience as the Ultra, but in a phone that's noticeably easier to live with every day. The displays are almost the same size, multitasking is just as good, and in some cases even better. The main display still feels massive.
Trying to scroll around and zoom in and out on this almighty internal display is so much more convenient and less fiddly compared with that external panel. And clutched in landscape mode, I found that the Galaxy Z Fold 8 is particularly comfortable and just generally excellent for gaming.
It's about a 4:3 aspect ratio. That's well suited to a lot of media out there. Whereas the Ultra's 8-inch inner display is larger, but more square-like in shape. This means that certain content will fit better on the Z Fold 8, with smaller black bars than the Ultra.
The fact that I don't use my iPad at all, or any Android tablet, I haven't done since I've had it. Reading briefing documents, I use the Fold. Emails, Mac/Fold. Watching football whilst editing, Fold. Tent mode style.
Time, which is honestly excellent for a foldable. In fact, I saw a battery test from the folks over at Tom's Guide, and the results were even more surprising. The Z Fold 8 Ultra with its 5000 mAh battery performed similarly to the Motorola Razr Fold, which has
as the Ultra and the Z Fold 7. Battery wise, for a normal day, from texting to browsing to some social media to checking emails, I'm easily getting around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time with an even mix of cover and unfolded screens. And even if I use the cover screen more, which
enough. Thankfully, they've learned their lesson. They've managed to boost the capacity for this generation, so now you've got a 4800 mAh cell stuffed inside of the Galaxy Z Fold 8. That's still kind of measly compared with some rivals from the likes of Oppo and Honor, but hey, it's an improvement.
8 has a 4800 mAh capacity, while the Ultra's is 5000 mAh. But for some reason, the non-Ultra model has the better battery life, earning a higher active use score in our tests than the Ultra, and that's both when unfolded and when folded. We also see a small difference in charging speed.
Emails, Chrome with millions of tabs open, it just gets on with it, as all top phones now do. Battery, charging, still not industry leading, 45 watts, turn that on. But battery life has been one of the
Now, to be fair, light games were genuinely no issue at all. I had a great time running through Vampire Survivor style games and car battlers for hours during the week, but heavier titles were a different story. When I played Genshin Impact, it overheated. When I played Call of Duty Mobile, it overheated. But when you've got this thing unfolded, the sound is coming entirely out of one side instead of that true stereo speaker that you'd like to expect. Now, my third problem was the cameras. It's nothing close to what you're getting on top tier flagships, even though you're paying a flagship price. And look, I'm
available on this phone. Wireless charging is another one. The charging speed itself is fine, but because the phone is so short, it's a little harder to line up properly on a charger. The camera bump tends to get in the way. To be fair, that's not unique to the Fold 8. Samsung's recent
Detail levels either, but in proper soft light, you will see some quite serious crunching. You get those grainy, not so attractive skies at night, and generally hazy results. This is certainly where a bigger sensor would have helped. Oh, and of course, as usual, any kind of more
can't see what I'm typing. The keyboard comes up, I'm typing away, but no text appears because there's no search bar. So I'm basically typing blind. The search still works, but it's very annoying that sometimes you've misspelt things or words haven't been put together properly because you...
Even though the Ultra has a dedicated 3x camera, the hardware is not too impressive, and during the day, the Z Fold 8 can keep up with its digital zoom. But at night, the Ultra does do better zoom photos. The quality is still nothing to write home about though. And since these two phones had the same ultra-wide
light hit the display, the screen became a giant mirror. Even worse, those reflections made the crease stand out much more than it actually does. With the Fold 8, that's mostly gone. Samsung did make the crease a bit shallower this year, which definitely helps, but I think
all the way up. And of course, this is the first smartphone I've reviewed which has come with Android version 17 out of the box. Samsung's usual One UI shenanigans slapped on top of that version 9. And I can't say that I found One UI 9 radically different in any way from One UI 8.
Lots of emails, lots of taking photos, and that's where I feel non-Fold owners simply don't quite get this element. That when it's in the unfolded state, it's absolutely a dream for content consumption and quite simply tired-eyed.
Expect from a normal phone without ever feeling like a downgrade. Texting, quick browsing, checking notifications, all of it feels completely native, not like some cramped afterthought. But the real story here is what happens the second that you unfold it. It's the best viewing experience that I've ever had on a phone.